Hello everyone and welcome to my video. This is our next video on Star Citizen, and today we are looking at the Mustang Gamma variant. This is one of the new variants that was released with the AC 1.0 patch, and this is the Racer edition of the Mustangs. Now this is actually one of two different racers that they have, the Consolidated Outland company has, as far as the Mustangs go. The other one being the Omega, which some of you may have seen. It's the red and black Mustang. That was a special edition released by AMD with, I believe it's their R9 graphics card. If you bought a card, you also could get the Mustang Omega with the graphics card. But this is very similar to the Omega. There's some differences. I believe the top speed is the same between this Gamma and the Omega. It's 270 meters per second. And the maneuverability, as far as I could tell, seems to be pretty much the same. There is one visible difference. The Mustang Omega does have an additional intake there in the middle on the bottom. But they each have the three engines, the TR2s, whereas the other Mustangs only have the two engines. They don't have the one in the center. There's no cargo, as you can see, slot here on the Gamma. But in comparison, as far as a racer goes, you got the M50, as you can see right behind me here. That M50 is the faster of all of them. It's got 280 meters per second as far as its top speed. It's definitely a little bit more maneuverable than the Mustangs, but they're pretty close competitors. So it'd be fun to get this in one of the races against, say, maybe a 350R, an M50, and maybe even an Omega, and see how each of them pair up to each other. Now, it's not that great. If you look at the guns here, this is a size 1 fixed gun. It only has 2 guns on it, no missiles, no nose turrets, 2 size 1 guns. I played this in Arena Commander 1.0, Vandal Swarm, and a little bit head-to-head. Aside from its speed and maneuverability, it can't take much of a hit. It doesn't take much to destroy the ship, the shield being 2, and here's the shield generator right here. In fact, if you click on it, it seems to randomly spawn the cover in just floating in space there. But shield generator is just level 2, and with the level or size 1 guns, you just don't have a lot of competition against those heavily armed and heavily armored and heavily shielded ships like, say, the Hornet or the Avenger. Now let me get out of the screen here. The cockpit viewability is actually really good in the Mustangs, as you can see here. You got a really good field of view, and the cockpit's kind of a minimalist style, very clean. Looks really good. I really actually like it. Now I'm going to get here in the third person, as you can see, and try to get behind the pilot seat, because you see back here there's actually some extra space here. I don't know what, if anything, that's ever going to be used for, if that's going to be available for hauling cargo a little bit or what. I mean, it's a racer, so I don't really see the point or need of that. It could just simply be because it's extra space in the Gamma, because on the Omega, supposedly they say it's a 2-seater, which quite honestly doesn't make any sense to me as a racer, dedicated racer, for it to ever have 2 seats. Now, it doesn't actually have 2 seats in it. It just supposedly says that it's a 2-seater. So maybe that additional space is where that other seat would be, say, in the Omega, but it just simply isn't there in the Gamma. Now, I bought the ship because I really liked the way it looked. I thought it'd be fun to fly, and it is. It is. As a racer, it's really good. Probably, like I said, it could pair up pretty well against the Omega and pretty closely against the M50, and I think it probably would outperform the 350R. But as far as the fighter goes, definitely not the ship for you if that's your focus. If your focus is racing, you might really enjoy this or the Omega. Now you can see here, I'm going to go in this in third-person view just to kind of get a visual of how the third person loads into the hangar, or into the cockpit. And of course, every time you do that, since it is now available to fly in Arena Commander 1.0, it's always going to pull up the menu. But I do believe, I mean, even though I do like the way the ship looks and it's very fast and maneuverable, I do believe I'm going to take the opportunity while it's still available and do the cross-chassis upgrade from the Gamma to the Mustang Delta. Now that one's definitely much more geared for fighting. It's got more weapons. It's got these rockets. It's much slower, but it's much more geared towards combat against, say, a Hornet or an Avenger. And ultimately, since I'm not much into the racing portion of the game, I think that the Delta would be a much better fit for what I want to do in the game. Yes, I do have the M50. I do enjoy that. I'm definitely going to keep that ship, and yes, that is more of a racer, but you can actually have a little bit more armament on the M50 than you can get on this Mustang Gamma. The M50, in fact, comes with some missiles, and you can load more missiles on it, but you get absolutely none on this. So I will do a video for you guys on the Gamma in Arena Commander. I'll do a race with it, just so you can see how it performs as a racer, and I'll do maybe a Vandal Swarm combat with it, and you can kind of see how it performs there, and kind of get a feel for how it looks, how it flies, and what kind of performance you get from it. But we'll do that on another video. Until then, thanks for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe and share this video if you like it.
We are drawn towards the familiar. It is safe, reliable, but it can shackle us to the ordinary when in our souls we long to strike out to become something new. We started with a simple mantra. Dare to dream. Dare to challenge the expectations of what's come before. To embrace the unique, to put everything on the line. Only when we risk everything can we discover something truly special and redefine what it means to travel the stars. To explore the farthest reaches. To race on the cutting edge. To protect what you love. Say goodbye to the familiar and welcome the brand new Mustang, where risk meets reward.